Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is my 2016 Best in Beauty. These are my favorite products throughout this year. If you've been following me, some of these are going to be very familiar because you've seen them in my Friday favorites. Although I tried to include some different products that were not in my ride or die video, which those are like a lot of my tried and trues, the ride or die, Holy Grail products, which I'll leave that video linked down below if you're interested in seeing more of my most coveted and most favorite products. So these are the products that I've been loving all throughout this year and just really using on a consistent basis. Like I said, I tried to not do a whole bunch of repeats, but there were some products that overlapped just because I can't help myself. It's what I've used consistently throughout this year. Now, if I do mention a discount code in this video, I will let you know if it is an affiliated discount code. So if you do choose to use it, you're gonna get the discount, but also I'm gonna get a portion of the sales. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, you can feel free to just not use the discount code, but I am gonna leave it there as an option and I'll let you know in the information box below, as well as I'll try and verbally say if it is an affiliated code. Okay, since I have so many products, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with what I kind of like, the order I kind of do my face, just because that's gonna be the easiest for me to remember. So I'm gonna start with primers. I have 3 primers that I'd like to talk about. The first is from IT Cosmetics. This is the Bye Bye Pores Primer. It's oil-free. It's a poreless primer. I really love it because it goes on the skin. I really do feel like it primes my face by sort of working and giving me that blank canvas for my pores. This is one of my favorites because it's like a serum based, but it has like a white cast to it, but I don't find that it like changes. It kind of rubs in, but just to let you know, it does have like a little bit of a white cast. I love the fact that it is a pump that's really nice and convenient, and it also works for sanitary purposes. This on the back says a neutralizing translucent. So that was like one thing when I first saw, like I said, it does have a little bit of a white. It's white when you first put it on, but it rubs in so beautifully. It's paraben-free, cruelty-free, oil-free. Sephora this year just recently started selling the IT Cosmetics line, and this was a newer product that kind of launched on the website, and I just have been loving it ever since. The next primer for pore filling that I love, and I don't feel like I talk about this one enough, is from Tarte. This is the Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. I love this because it's like a base primer. It's like a putty, almost like a putty consistency to me. So I just scoop a little bit out and I just rub it all over my face, and I don't know if you can see, it almost like makes my skin like matte, but it really does a great job at filling in my pores. I use this specifically in my T-zone on my chin. I love it when I'm using a full coverage foundation that's a little bit more of a matte foundation. I really like to use this because I find that sometimes my pores are more noticeable when I'm using foundations that are more full coverage and matte. So I love, can I just show this one instead? But I love this one for that. Moving on to another primer that I absolutely love. This is the BECCA Backlight Priming Filter. I've talked about this so many times. I love to do the pore filling primers, but I also like to bring that luminosity back into my skin. So when I'm using a more matte foundation, full coverage, like for instance my go-to foundation, which I'm not going to mention in this video because I talk about it so much, is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Coverage. You just need a couple of drops of that. I add 2 drops of the Maximum Cover Foundation with 2 drops, or like 1 pump of this, and it's like the perfect combination. This has a pump, but it's just a beautiful luminizing primer. It gives you a really nice glow to the skin, but I love mixing it with foundations as like an extra additional glow in the foundation. I don't feel like it's too much and it doesn't make me greasy. Okay, moving on to foundations. I have a few I want to talk about, but the one foundation that I've been using so much this year is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. This is in the shade Fiji. I love this. It says sheer glow, and immediately I thought that sheer meant that it was sheer coverage. No, it's a full coverage foundation. I would say it's a medium to full coverage foundation. The sheer glow is the sheer glow. It has a slight radiance to it. I love it because it stays on my skin. It looks really nice and dewy. If you have super oily skin, I don't know if I would use this. This is more for normal to drier skin. It's just a beautiful foundation though, and I really have been enjoying it. If I am wearing this, I don't mix in a glowing primer. I tend to use more of the pore filling primers with something like this because I don't want to add any more glow to it because it already has such a beautiful finish to it, and that's one of the things that I love the most about this foundation. The next foundation up is the Hourglass. This is the Vanish foundation. I love this. This is the shade Buff. I have two shades. I have Buff and Linen. This foundation is my favorite stick foundation. I'm not a fan of stick foundations, but once I tried this, I was like sold. The brush that goes with this is like the most beautiful buffing brush. I left it at my parents' house, so I'm like so sad over it, but my mom's probably gonna try and send it back to me if she's not using it herself. I highly recommend if you're gonna get this foundation to get the brush. It's such a good brush. It's like a super dense and it just works really well for all foundations, but especially a stick foundation, this one in particular, to give that full coverage that I'm looking for. This is a full coverage foundation. It really blends into the skin beautifully. It gives such great look to the skin because it's just, it vanishes into the skin, and not vanishes as in you can't see the coverage. It vanishes as you can't see the formula because it really is very skin-like for a full coverage foundation. It's rather pricey, but I have loved it, and I found for as much as I've used it, I still have a ton left because you only need a little bit. I just need one stripe, or maybe two stripes here, and one across my forehead, and it blends through the skin beautifully. A newer discovery for a foundation and from the drugstore is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is a 2-in-1 foundation. You can use it as a concealer under your eyes because it has such great coverage. I'm in the shade 03 Light Beige. My only complaint is that they don't have a lot of shades in the range, so hopefully they will add more shades. This is a really nice foundation from the drugstore. It does come with a pump as well. It's a thicker formula, so it's really nice, and as you can see, really nice and full coverage. I love this one because I like the way it wears on my skin. I do find that if you were maybe extra oily, this has a little bit of a dewy finish, a little bit, slightly. You might just need extra powder to set it. I typically don't get super oily. I'm a little bit more normal to dry skin, but I don't get super oily, but I have had a little bit of slight dewiness with this foundation, although just a little bit of powder throughout the day is fine. But this is a really great foundation from the drugstore if you're looking for something affordable with a lot of coverage and something that wears all day. So let's talk about concealers. I know everyone and their mama is talking about the Tarte Shape Tape. That's because it's so great. I have the color Light. It really is a nice concealer as far as coverage and not creasing. It has a really nice big doe foot applicator, so you can get right up under your eyes, and the product just blends in super beautifully. One that I always go back to though, my like tried and true, my favorite, is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. It's just my #1. I have the shade NW15 and I have NW20. Those are the two shades I kind of go between. NW15 I use if I'm more pale, NW20 I use if I have a little bit more color to my face. I can't say enough about this concealer because it is the best if you have fine lines. I find just a tiny pump. I haven't even mastered the skill of getting just a smidgen out, but some people who watch me are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm literally trying to get a pinpoint of this foundation out, or this concealer out. I will like sit and like dink and like pull it away because a little bit goes a long way. A tiny pin drop will cover under both of my eyes, and it just blends out so beautifully. Less is more when it comes to this because the coverage is so great, but also you don't want to build it up too much to get that cakey feeling under the eye because it is so full coverage that honestly, like if you go hard and do one full pump, you're going to end up wasting a lot of product because, like I said, less is more when it comes to this. I absolutely love this. If you're looking for a really great like all-time favorite, this is probably my all-time favorite concealer. of life. Moving on to setting powders and just overall face powders. One that I really love, this isn't a translucent powder. This is just like an all over setting powder. This is the Chanel. This has lasted me like 3 years. I've had this for 3 years. It's the Universal Natural Finish Loose Powder. It's in 30 Natural Translucent 2. I love this powder. It is just a really, really great color. It's a neutral color. Like I said, it's great for setting. Sometimes I find when I'm baking, if I bake with this, it works. It works under my eyes and it works to bake like my contour area, but it also works just as a nice loose powder to set all over the face. I prefer loose rather than pressed setting powders because I just find that this just blends in a little bit better and it doesn't give me a cakey feel than if I finish with any type of a setting spray. I feel like everything just kind of melts together. So I really, really love this. I love that it has a little bit of color to it, so it's not going to leave like my face looking white, but it has that a little bit more of a tint to it. It's just a really great setting powder in my opinion, but it's not, I mean, you could use this if you wanted to as just like a BB cream and then a little bit of powder. It comes with a puff, but I just use a big brush and I just kind of set all over my face with it. Or I use a beauty blender and do like under my contour area. So out of all the bronzers that I have, I really always go back to one, and it's NARS Laguna. It's just my favorite. I love this because you can use it. This is the Tahiti palette. It comes with a mini Ita brush, and I mean, as you can see, this is well loved. The reason that I love this so much is because it has a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's like so faint that it applies to the skin. You can use it to contour and you can use it to bronze up your face. Every time I use it, it doesn't get muddy on me. It's such a neutral tone. It's just really a beautiful bronzer, and I find that it just flatters my complexion, and I love the fact that I can use it as a bronzer. Just put like a little bit right here. I love the fact I can use it as a bronzer and as a contour shade, so it's kind of like that 2-in-1. Plus with this brush, it's always like I always travel with this just because it's like I can do contour, I can do I take a big fluffy brush and then bronze up the rest of my face, and it's just that perfect color, and it's like a one and done. Sometimes I don't like having to go to a contour shade and then go into a bronzer shade, so I like having it all in one. So NARS Laguna has just been my tried and true, and so I'm gonna say it's my favorite bronzer of 2016. So I have 3 blushes that I consistently wore throughout this year. 2 are like my all-time favorites. There's Charlotte Tilbury. These are some of my absolute favorite blushes of life. I think they are incredible. They're worth the investment. If I threw all of my blushes out, I would keep these 2 shades and be happy in life. Every time I travel, I bring these 2 shades, and that is all I bring, unless I'm like really loving a certain blush that time, but I just love these. I love them. These are the Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blushers in the shade Ecstasy, which is a peach shade, and then the shade Love Glow, which is more of a pink. Ecstasy is just this beautiful peachy shade, and it is the best. I will show you swatches of them, but this is Love Glow. What I love about these is you can swirl them all together for one full color, or you can use the outer layer is like a darker color, the inner layer or part of it is a lighter color, and then so you can have a darker blush, a lighter blush, or all of them together for like that middle tone. So really it's 3-in-1. These run about $40, which I know is expensive, but the quality of the product is amazing. It wears all day, it looks beautiful, and it gives this like natural glow, but like any skin could wear it. Mature skin could wear it. If you're oily, you could wear it. Anyone can wear these, and they're so beautiful. I've never found blushes that I love more. So if you hear me talk about them all the time in all my favorites videos, that's why. If you haven't tried a Charlotte Tilbury blush, I highly recommend picking one up. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's just such an incredible formula. So this is the shade Ecstasy, and I'm gonna swirl it just all together. It's a beautiful peachy shade. When I wear it on my skin, it just gives this peachy glow. I always get asked what I'm wearing every time I wear it. It blends in so well, and it just sits really nicely on the skin. So that is Ecstasy. And then Love Glow, when I want more of like a pink look, I always go with this shade, so I'm just going to swirl it all together. But like I said, you can wear it any way you like. This is the more pink of the two. So that is right. Let me just get a better swatch of that. Oh, these are just so pretty. I just love them. So this is Love Glow and this is Ecstasy. It's just, they're the most beautiful colors. And like I said, if I had to throw all my blushes away, I'd keep these puppies and I could be happy in life. This product is another blush product that I've been loving, but also a highlighter. So I'm going to transition into highlighters too. This is from MAC. This came out this year in the Nutcracker Sweet collection. Hopefully, if you guys have like a CCO, wait, is that what it's called? A cosmetic company outlet store at like your outlet place, you can probably maybe find these discontinued collections or online or something like that. If you happen to have this, it's limited edition, so I'm like hesitant to tell you, but the product inside I believe is one of the blushes is part of the permanent collection, which is why I'm going to talk about it because I love it so much. This is called the Nutcracker Sweet Peach Face Compact, and the blush is called At Dusk. It's the Extra Dimension blush. It's a beautiful light pink. Again, I'm wearing that one today. I love this for a beautiful light pink color. It doesn't have as much of a sheen as the Love Glow blush does from Charlotte Tilbury, and it's a little bit more light pinkish, but I love the formula of these that just blends in super well. So I do believe At Dusk you can purchase in the permanent collection at MAC. Now the highlighter is another product that I have been using so much. This came out in like I think I got this in November of this year, so it's almost like Cheater Pumpkin Eater because I haven't been using it all year. But it's just, I've used it almost every single day because I just love it so much. This highlight is called Tutu, and again it's that same formula. Look how pigmented that highlighter is. It's so gorgeous. It's the most beautiful highlight ever. An Extra Dimension formula is just so good, so creamy. It goes on so beautifully. That's what I have on today, and it's like so pigmented and wonderful. I just love this so much, so if you can get your hands on it, definitely purchase it. Okay, since we're talking about highlighters, I do have a few more. This year Jouer came out with their own highlighters. They're super beautiful. The packaging is gorgeous. One of my favorites from the line is called Citrine. It's just a gorgeous champagne gold color. These are super buttery. I mean, like, it literally doesn't even feel real. Like, it's so buttery, but look at that. Like, boom goes the dynamite. It's so smooth, but it's a beautiful like white golden shade. It's so smooth. It almost feels like silk going on. Such a great formula. I do have a discount code with Jouer. It's also an affiliate code. So my discount code will save you 15%, but it's also an affiliate code. So if you do use it, I get a portion of the sale. So just be sure, if you don't mind that you know. And I will leave that down below. It's always in the description box of my videos. Next highlight is from MAC. This is part of their permanent line. They came out with an Extra Dimension highlighters in their permanent line now. This shade is called Double Gleam. It's a beautiful like yellowy golden shade. I've gotten so much wear out of this. It's super duper beautiful, and it's super light, so if you're fair complected, like, this is gonna be a Shazam highlighter for you. If you're really looking for that like glowing from space, this is gonna be your friend. A little bit goes a long way because it's super duper pigmented. If I use a fan brush and then spray my face with some Fix Plus and then go back over it, it's like, whoa! It's crazy. So I love this highlighter. It is a little bit more newer to me in the last several months, but it has been a favorite. The last highlighter, I know, I'm crazy. I'm sorry. I should have pared down, but I can't help myself. The last highlighter I wanted to talk about is this one from Laura Mercier. This is 01. I think this is a beautiful highlight for someone who may have a little bit more mature skin and they're just looking for something with a sheen and not like a metallic shimmer. That is it right there. It's a beautiful, beautiful highlight. I love it for inner corners, under the brow bone, and on the top of my cheekbones. It's super duper pretty, but if you don't want something as frosty, I definitely think this is a good option for you because it just gives a beautiful glow. When you rub it in, like, let me just rub it in, it just makes your skin look super nice, but not like metallic. Moving on to eye products, I have one palette that stands out to me this year, and it is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I had to say that this is my all-time favorite, most used palette, especially of 2016. It's a lot of warm shades. It looks intimidating with oranges and reds, but when you apply those in the crease, they just give such a nice warmth to your eye. I encourage you, if there's like a color you're nervous about, just take the leap and purchase this palette. It has two shimmer shades and then one like a satin shade, and then I believe the rest of these, oh no, this one's a little bit more of a, no, that's matte too. The rest of them are all matte. Maybe this has a little bit of shimmer in it. Anyways, these shades are all beautiful. This shade in Primavera is a beautiful highlight shade, and then we have Vermeer, which is another highlight shade. This Raw Sienna and Burnt Orange are two shades. These are super duper pigmented. They're buttery. Those are shades I use in my crease like almost on the daily. They're just the perfect crease colors. And then if I just want a little bit of something on my lid, I put the highlight shades on my lid. So I put these in the crease and that on the lid, and it's a great everyday look. It's nice and simple. If I want to jazz it up, I add these more reddish tone colors or oranges to my crease. Today I'm wearing this warm taupe shade all in my crease, and then all I have is Antique Bronze, which is this beautiful bronzy, it has a little bit of like flecks in it. Bronzy shade is all over my lid. That's all that's on my eyes today, and it just makes a really beautiful look. So you can smoke it out if you want to, or you can go very natural if you want. I had a wet, oh man, look, this gets dirty really easily. That's the only bummer. I had a wedding that I went to on New Year's Eve, and I wore this palette, and it's just the most beautiful palette, and it's super versatile. Next thing I wanted to mention were Makeup Geek eyeshadows. The foiled shadows, they're some of my favorite for adding a little bit of pizzazz to the lid. They're just beautiful in the center of the lid. I typically stick with the top row if I'm using like a lid shade, but if I want to go super pizzazzy, I've used this shade right here, which is called Legend. Then I've used this shade right here, which is called Fortune Teller, in a yellow look. A lot of you guys really love that because it's like this chartreuse shade. This shade in Legend is a beautiful bronzy shade. This one right here in Magic Act is a beautiful golden shade. I love to put it in the center of eye looks. Let me see, I think this one is Starry Eye. This is a gorgeous all over the lid shade as well. So these are super pigmented and really great quality. I love Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I also am an affiliate with them, so I do have a link. If you do use my link, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. But if you are interested in, I will leave all these products linked down below. If you are interested in shopping through my link, you can do that. But if you don't feel comfortable, you can also just go to the Makeup Geek website. But what I love about Makeup Geek is you're getting a quality product for a really affordable price. So love those colors. Those have been like my top most worn shades, especially from the foiled eyeshadow. Okay, eyebrows. I have some favorites for my eyebrows. My top two brow pencils have been the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit. I also like the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. This is the thinner version, so I can really get right under my brow. This is in number 3, which is the shade. This might be a little bit dark for me, but I really, really like it because I have darker brows. It provides a nice creaminess where I feel like it distributes the product, but not too soft and doesn't get like too messy. So I really like that about that. But my favorite this year has been the IT Cosmetics Your Brows But Better pencil in Universal Transforming Taupe. This is one of those skinny pencils, but the color is perfect. The consistency and the formula is perfect. It always gives me brows that I can count on. I absolutely love this. Every brow day that was like my favorite came with the IT Cosmetics one. So the color is just the most perfect for me, and the product just works really, really well. Maybelline has a new product out this year that I fell in love with. This is the Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. I have the shade Blonde. It's the perfect, it has like this almost like canoe right here with like these little fibers, and you comb it through your brows. It sets my brows, and it also has that perfect color that I find it it fills in a little bit of the sparse areas, and the color matches so nice, and it kind of has those little things on the end of it that like comb through your brows as well and add texture back into your eyebrows to not make them look so flat and fake when I'm filling them in. So I really, really love this. You can pick that up at your drugstore. And then Benefit's Highbrow. This is the older packaging. They have a newer packaging. This is like one of my favorite products to put under the brow to kind of clean up, give a nice, it's like a matte pink shade, and it just gives like such a nice highlighted area under the brows. It makes the eye look so clean, and I just love it because it gives that base. Sometimes I don't use a highlight shade under my brow, and I just use this, and sometimes I top this with like a shimmery shade. But either way, it always looks nice and clean and sharp, and I love the way it looks. For eyeliners, I love the Jessie's Girl. The Jessie's Girl liquid eyeliner is like one of my favorites, the best. It just glides on. It's super black. It's really affordable. You can find Jessie's Girl online or in Rite Aids. Love this. And then I've talked about this so much I like almost don't want to talk about it anymore, but I have to say, if you're looking for a great eyeliner that doesn't transfer in your waterline, it stays, the NARS Larger Than Life eyeliners are the best. They're worth the investment. I will always buy these because they're just the best eyeliners. And this one is in Rue Bonaparte. It is a nude. If you use nude in your waterline as opposed to a brown, it opens up your eyes like you wouldn't believe. If you have smaller eyes, I'm actually not wearing it today for the first time in a really long time, but it opens up your eyes so beautifully. So I put the nude in the waterline, and then right under it, I always do a darker shadow. So it really just opens up the eyes and makes them pop. It makes your eyes appear bigger, more awake. So I highly recommend the nude shade if you're looking for a great nude. This stays on me all day long, and I don't have to do any type of touch-ups. It doesn't transfer everywhere. The black stays on me all day long, and it doesn't get in my inner corners, which I really appreciate because that's a problem that I have with other liners. So if you're looking for great eyeliners that are trusty, the NARS Larger Than Life are worth the investment because they stay and they perform. Mascaras that I love. I have to give a shout out to this mascara that I just recently discovered, but it's very reminiscent of the Lancome Fossils, which is like my favorite. But then once I tried this, which is more affordable, I had to talk about this one. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Base. It is a great primer. It gives so much volume, and my friend Ashleigh from Texas Mommy of Boys, I saw her using this and I was like, dude, what do you use? Because that's incredible. So this is the primer, and then you go in immediately with mascara. And the mascara that I've just been using the most consistently throughout the year is this Maybelline Lash Sensational, and this is the Luscious Full Fan Effect. I love this drugstore. It's one of my favorite mascaras. It has like a tapered wand. I feel like it builds a lot of volume. It pulls the lashes up. It separates them really, really well. And it's a rather wet mascara, so if you don't like wet mascaras, you might not love that. If you have difficulty with your lashes kind of curling, this might not be the best mascara for you, but this primer is the best, for real, it really is. But I love this mascara, and it has been a go-to all year. For my lashes, I always wear the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash, just because the wand is so small. I feel like it gets to all the little lashes, and it just really separates them, pulls them down. I love this mascara so much. If I use it on my bottom lashes, sometimes I'll just do a little bit through my top lashes and kind of separate them a little bit more, but this is a great bottom lash, lower lash mascara. Okay, for a little bit of extra pizzazz, this has been a go-to throughout the year. If I want to add a little bit more glitter to my eye look, I love using these Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitters. They're incredible. This shade is Midnight Cowboy, which is my favorite. It's just this beautiful golden color. I always just put a little bit on and then tap it on my eye, and it adds instant like beautiful glitter look. It stays on the eye You can use it as a liner, and it's super duper I mean, that's what it's for. You can use it as a liner. It's super duper pigmented, so you're not having to like kind of go back over it. You just, you know, use it to extend the line. So it's super duper pigmented and nice. So if you want to use it for like a cut crease glitter look, or if you want to just use it for a nice like glitter eyeliner look, I love it. Come in a bunch of different colors, but the Midnight Cowboy has by far been my favorite. If I use like a golden shadow, sometimes I'll just tap a little bit of this all over my eye and dab it out with my finger, and it's so beautiful. The product you've heard me talk a ton about, and I just have to mention it again, are the Estee Edit Metallic Shadow Cream to Powders. This one is my favorite from the line. I think it's the most worth it in my opinion. It's in Solar Blast. These have like a cream portion on top, which this is like a shimmery cream bronze shade. It's very deep and dark. It's beautiful. And you rub that into your eye. You can use it as the base. And then on top of this, you apply the pigment, which is on the bottom. This is the most gorgeous pigment ever. Let me just show you it on top of this swatched. It's so beautiful. It's this beautiful bronze shade. I absolutely love this. It's been a go-to. I had to actually put it down for a while because all I wanted to wear was this. If you put that base down and then you put this all over the lid and you kind of use a fluffy brush and blend it, it blends up into the crease and it's like a full one and done look. You only need to use this and you get a full smoky eye look. It's so pretty. I love it so much, and I got so many compliments on it that I was just like, I'm gonna keep wearing this every day. I do have a few other ones. I think like Cyberberry is another really pretty, Cyberella maybe. That's a beautiful shade as well. But Solar Blast, because these are rather expensive. I forget how much exactly they are, maybe $25, but Solar Blast is definitely the most used that I have, and I have all of them. Most worn lashes, these are the Salon Perfect. You can get them from Walmart. These are the 615s. I'm not wearing these today specifically, but these have been my most worn. They're beautiful, they're fluttery, but they're not too much. I really, really love them. They kind of look like Bambi from House of Lashes because they kind of have clusters. But they're affordable, they're beautiful, they're lightweight. I can't even feel them on my eyes, so I love them. They're my favorite for 2016. Okay, you guys, we almost have done it, but lip products is last, and I kind of have a lot because lips are one of my favorite things. So I'm gonna try and go quickly through some of them that I've talked about before, but here we go on some of my favorite lip products. I have 3 favorite lip liners. My all-time favorite of life is Perfect Nude from Too Faced. They recently, I think, reformulated this and just brought it back. This is the perfect nude shade. I'm almost out of this, so I'm so glad I have like a backup of it. Yeah, I'm almost out of it. It's the most beautiful nude shade. It like cheats your lips, so if you want to have your lips appear a little bit bigger, I would use this because it gives that look or appearance of a full lip look because it's so close to your lip, at least my lip color, that I find that it's like the best for like doing a little bit cheater, making my lips look a little bit plumper. These are the Sephora Rouge Gel Lip Liners. This is in the shade The Nudist, and I love these. This is almost like more of a, it's a little bit creamier, has a little bit more taupe in it, but this is a beautiful, beautiful color. These stay really well, and they're very nice and creamy. They blend in, and I just really love the formula of these. So this has been my most worn shade. And then NARS lip liner in, oh, it's like already rubbed off, but these are the NARS lip liner larger than life lip liners, I think they are. And this is in the shade El Agua. It's this beautiful, it's what I'm wearing today. It's just this beautiful pink shade, like purpley pink shade. I love it. Every time I'm gonna be wearing a mauvey pink, I always pull this out. It just adds that extra something special, so definitely a must have. Okay, liquid lipsticks, you guys know Jouer. They're just my favorite. I do have that discount code. I love them so much. They're so comfortable. They're so long wearing, and I love the color selection. My two most worn are Dulce de Leche. I have Tawny Rose is another favorite, and then Winter Rose, which was a newer one from the collection. Very similar to Tawny Rose. These are just super duper beautiful. They have a great scent to them. I think they're affordable. They're comfortable. They're just my all-time favorite. This Dulce de Leche is like my favorite color of life. I just love it. That's Dulce de Leche, and that's Winter Rose. These are just so comfortable for my lips. They don't dry out. They don't get gross and nasty. They stay on my lips. Like I said, they smell really good. They're affordable. So I just love these. I love topping them with any of the Jouer lip toppers or glosses. Okay, one of my favorite is ColourPop came out this year with Ultra Satin Lips, and this is 0.0, which was Kathleen Light's collection. I love this for a beautiful like taupey brown shade. It's a very comfortable formula. It doesn't dry out the lips, but I just love this shade. I always wear this Sephora lip liner with this shade, and I love the combination. These are so comfortable on my lips, and I just find that they're super pigmented, and this shade, I always get comments like, what are you wearing? It's beautiful if I want to do this all over my lips, and then sometimes I add like a little bit more of a nude shade, like a nude lip, like a very light nude liquid lipstick in the center, and I love the combination of almost like an ombre, but this has been definitely a go-to, and I really love that formula. So two of my favorite lip glosses, well, I have three, but White Russian from Buxom is my all-time favorite, but I always talk about that. But two go-tos for me, for a peach and a pink. This is NARS Chelsea Girl. It's just the most perfect peach shade. It's pigmented and it's glossy, and it's that perfect warm peach that I love, like a warm nude peach. And then this is Anastasia, which I love Anastasia glosses in Peony or Peony, however you want to say it. That's what I have on top of NARS Agua today. And it's just a beautiful, oh, I also have NARS Audacious lipstick in Anna on. And then this is to top it off. It's just a beautiful pink shade. I really love it to add a little bit of color. And it's so pretty. And these glosses from Anastasia smell so good. They smell like vanilla cake. I just love them. So these are definitely some of my most worn for 2016, and glosses that I just highly recommend, especially if you're looking for a great nudie peach gloss and a great pink gloss. So this is a little bit newer in the last, I would say, 6 months, but this is Charlotte Tilbury's Kim K. Oh, crap. Well, I was going to talk about Charlotte Tilbury's Kim K. West, but I grabbed the wrong color, and I don't know where the other one is. So Kim K. West is a beautiful nude shade from Charlotte Tilbury, and it is just the perfect nude. I've been wearing it a ton, but it was going to be an honorable mention anyways because I've been wearing so many liquid lipsticks that I wasn't really wearing a ton of regular lipsticks this year. But if I had been, I was always wearing that one. So unfortunately I can't show it, but it's very reminiscent of like, it's like a very pale light pink nude. But it's beautiful. I love it. It's super creamy and nice. So I wish I had it here to show you, but honestly I don't even know where it is now. That I thought that was it, and it wasn't. You guys, we made it. We're done. Officially through my best in beauty for 2016. I think I'm gonna do a skincare, lip balm, additional random favorites after this, but these are my favorite and most used makeup products in the year 2016. Thank you guys so much for your support throughout the year. You're the reason that I do this. I honestly love my relationship with you guys, and that I feel like I can talk to you guys about things, and I feel like you guys are respectful with me about if you have anything to say to me, so I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you all in the next video. Mwah.